Hello, everybody. This is Caitlin McDonald, and today I wanted to share some information on establishing your goals for social media. So all month we've been talking about figuring out what your goals are for the year, making sure they're SMART goals that are driven by internal influences rather than external goals that we might have. And so here we wanted to take the time to really figure out what you can focus on for your social media goals. Now, social media goals come in a lot of forms, and one of the most common forms that we see is really that you want to see an ROI from social media. So what does this mean? For most of our clients, it means getting money in the door. But social media can be so much more than just getting money in the door. And so we're going to go through some of those things that we like to focus on for our clients. The first is driving website traffic. And so this is where you post links back to your articles or sales and events that you're hosting, and people get to figure out more information on your website or read the whole article on your website. And so I really like this as a goal just because it encompasses a lot of these other things that we're going to be talking about, but it helps you provide more brand authority, helps it, really with your brand persona and getting people to understand and know who you are as a business rather than just seeing, a post come up online. So we really like this goal of driving website traffic. The next is to raise brand awareness. Now on social media, you are so lucky to be able to really showcase your persona and to reach people that you wouldn't normally reach in day-to-day communications. So this is where you can really grow beyond just who's on your email list or who's in your networking groups. And you can really connect with either like-minded people or folks that would fit into your tribe and community that you're creating. So raising brand awareness is one that's a little bit more difficult for people to wrap their heads around because it's, it's kind of, well, what does that do with the monetary value of what social media is doing? And in this day and age, we bring it up all the time. We work with the companies that we know, like, and trust. So raising brand awareness is part of that sales funnel. Though you can't directly correlate sales coming in and money coming in, it is a crucial part to your business. The next one is boosting brand engagement. So this is actually increasing, and I believe this is the one that we're going to dive into a little bit. But, this is where you get more likes and shares and comments, and really your goal would be increasing the number of people who are communicating with you and engaging with you online. So let's say you have a YouTube channel. You would want to boost the brand engagement on that by getting more viewers, more followers, and more specifically, people commenting on your videos and liking them. So that brand engagement is so important in social media, and actually the recent Facebook changes that are occurring are really going to emphasize the brands that have that engagement. So you have to make sure that you're posting more like, friends and families post in order to be found, rather than just sharing business tips all the time. The next one is generating new leads. And this is actually where we typically end up using Facebook ads or social media ads and promoted posts to drive these new leads. And the reason is because the people who already follow you on Facebook, you could consider them, top of the funnel leads. So in order to generate the new leads, we like creating promotions that directly run to a landing page with a contact form and some specific offer that we are promoting. And because we don't want to always have these showing up on the Facebook feed because it typically decreases the brand engagement, we want to run these as ads so they're kind of secondary on the social media networks. Next one, nurturing leads. Again, as I just mentioned, you can kind of think of your whole audience and your networks on social media as top of the funnel leads. So by providing valuable content to them and raising brand awareness, you're really helping out the sales funnel in that you are nurturing the connections and the contacts that you've made so that hopefully they come down further into the sales funnel and are more likely to work with you because you are top of mind when they are ready to make a buying decision. Next, we have building a community, and I love this. This is one of the reasons why we started this membership site, as well as one of the reasons why we are turning our Facebook page, the social media, or the social Speak Network Facebook page into the group. And that's really to build a community around individuals and business owners who want to really empower themselves to take control of their marketing. And within your networks, you have tribes of people who are hoping that you are going to build a community for them. And you might not even know it, and they might not know it. So utilizing social media to create that community where you're fostering discussions amongst members can really be powerful for setting your business apart and is a great social media goal to have. Then establishing authority and industry expertise is another wonderful goal. And this often takes you outside of social media. So once you start really showcasing your expertise, we've found that, posting articles on Quora, for example, or Medium helps you connect with other industry leaders and sets yourself apart from just the average Joe Schmo who's running a business. So it allows you to showcase your passion for what you do, and people will start to turn to you for more information and to really dive in deep. And so you want to give purpose to your social media efforts. And this is really because the purpose, having a purpose, you can make sure that the content you share continually relates back to the goals that you set for your business. So once you've set your goals, you need to identify the results you wish to see in order to reach the objective. And let's say, for example, your objective is to boost brand engagement. And this one, again, we're emphasizing it mostly because of the changes that Facebook has had and is continually trying to make, where brands that aren't engaging with people see a less and less reach, where they're only reaching a couple percent, like 1 or 2% of their audience, rather than everybody. But if you boost engagement, you will see more people seeing your post. So an example of your actual goal, if your broad goal is to boost brand engagement, could be to increase engagement, including likes, shares, mentions, and comments, by 20% by December 2018. So here we are turning the broad goal into a SMART goal, which is what we've been talking about all month. So you can go through this and do it with all of these different types of goals, but I recommend really just focusing on a couple of them so that you can be very clear in your efforts what you're trying to do, but then translate it, of course, into that SMART goal. And this is from Simply Measured, which is a social media platform, but they do great research in the industry to see what people are caring about with their social media marketing. And so this is just the common metrics that people measure as success of social media in 2017. And most people are trying to boost engagement. As you can see here, it's between 56 and 59% of businesses are trying to increase their likes, comments, mentions, shares, retweets, etc. So again, that's why we focus on it. Brand awareness is another big one. And then, of course, the conversion and revenue metrics. So this is definitely important for a lot of businesses, but as you can tell, businesses are really switching over to focusing on that engagement piece. They recognize that engagement is essential to get sales. Customer service, if you are a larger business, I feel as though this is an area that you can really excel at. Social media provides the means to have direct access to all of your customers and clients. And so if you have a large customer pool, social media can really work as a way to have direct access to these individuals where you don't have to have a full call staff or answering emails all day and stuff like that. It's a quick, easy way to answer questions and have discussions. And only, let's see, 2.5% of accounts aren't actually measuring their social media performance. So you should definitely take another look at that if you fall in that boat. And the engagement piece is a great thing to measure. So just taking a sip of water here. Here we have the next step in figuring out your goals. And this is really the part where we figure out which ones you should be focusing on, as well as paths forward. So I recommend brainstorming your current challenges that you're having in social media. So how is your business currently struggling in social media? Then take a look at the solutions for these challenges. So for your top 2 challenges, what can you try to do differently? And brainstorm a list of the actual tactics that you can do online in order to try and turn these challenges around. So let's say you aren't getting brand engagement. Potentially, could you be interacting with other pages on social media? Or could you be doing more videos and hoping that the videos reach more of an audience, because people love interacting with videos rather than with just static posts. And then, of course, you need to analyze if your efforts are working. So we talked about this last week with tracking goals and making sure that you're setting aside time to reach your goals. So then you have to analyze if you're actually moving forward. So track your progress towards your goals on a weekly basis. And I recommend specifically looking at month-over-month trends. So you're going to start out looking at, how the past 7 days have been, but then also how the past month has been. And each week looking for upward trends in the last month. You might find some days, traffic is really low or something like that. And then other days it increases. So you want to see that long-term growth rather than, figuring out every day, oh gosh, I didn't get any likes. But then you look the next day and that same post has 20 likes. So really, being conscious of that. Now, in order to track this, there are some tools that we recommend using. Google Analytics is great for measuring your website traffic, as well as what folks are doing once they get to your site. You can also measure leads from here too. Facebook Insights obviously gives you the engagement numbers with your Facebook page. Instagram is with your Instagram account. You can see your top posts as well as the type of people who are interacting with them or the type of accounts, and number of followers, growth, and engagement. Pinterest Analytics, this has a ton of information in it, including your reach, your impressions, the traffic to your website, how many times pins have been saved. Lead capture forms, these capture, the number of leads that are actually coming in. And then Clout is a great one for measuring your social influence. So how are you being perceived online, and what is your clout? So of course, as you're going through, you want to track your progress. So what is working and what isn't? And are there any solutions that you can brainstorm for your problems? So take a look if you're having trouble figuring out the solutions and other tactics that you can try. Take a look at your competition. You can also take a look to see if there are other influencers that you can partner with. Now, influencers typically have a higher clout score and are engaging more frequently with people who could fit into your tribe. So if you partner with them, this is a great way to increase your own exposure. And then, is there something that's really holding you back from stepping out of your comfort zone? Oftentimes when it comes to social media goals, we find ourselves being held back by, by ourselves. So let's say one of the tactics that you've come up with to reach a social media goal is by testing out videos and doing Facebook Lives. Are you just too nervous to get in front of the camera? I was that way for, oh gosh, probably 7 years. But I've decided to make a conscious effort to step out of my comfort zone and do these videos and Facebook Lives and YouTube videos because it's a tactic that we feel is going to help us reach our own social media goals. And then be honest with yourself about what tactics you aren't fully committing to. So we might write down on a sheet of paper, okay, in order to boost engagement, I am going to reach out to 5 influencer accounts every week, and I'm going to engage with them and like what they put out there and comment on their posts and direct message them, and then maybe you reach out to one person and never do it again. You haven't really given that tactic a fair shot to see if it actually will help you reach the social media goal that you're going towards. And then, of course, you can always poll your audience and see what they want to see and what they're interested in. And this is a great way to make sure that the content that you're putting out not only relates to your goals, but also relates to what your audience is looking for. So most importantly, have fun with social media. There are a bunch of different goals that you can measure. Again, increasing engagement on the accounts, brand awareness, driving traffic to the website, collecting leads, becoming an influencer, and of course, leading to sales. But the most important part with social media is having fun. And that's because people can really kind of see behind the scenes of your posts if you're having fun. There's a big difference between accounts that are just putting content up and those who are trying to make it more authentic and personal. So I think that that's the biggest takeaway for the social media goals that I have for you, is to have fun while you're doing it and really try and showcase your authentic self rather than coming across as a stiff business that nobody actually wants to work with. So have fun, and please write any comments if you have questions as we're going through this. And thank you so much for being part of the Social Speak Network.